I don't believe it. I just filmed a whole sequence and I didn't have my microphone on, and I have to redo it now. I probably haven't lost any enthusiasm because I just went out and I had my best foraging day of ever, and it really capped off the last 2 weeks of foraging. We're kind of at a period right now where it's prime time for a lot of different things, and it's really hard to pick what to focus on. So I've been picking a lot of acorns and other things in bulk. Delphanie's been targeting acorns and mushrooms, and so a lot of what we've picked is going to be in this video, which is a bit of a mashup from our last 2 weeks. But there's still other stuff that if you want to see the full amount of what we've been collecting, you'll have to pop over to Delphanie's Instagram account also, at Delphanie Collier, and I'll link that below. So I've got some footage of yesterday's opening season duck hunt with Adam Craig from Adam Craig Outdoors. I'm going to link his channel below. We had some success duck hunting on his property. And today I went out for the opening weekend of grouse. I limited out. I shot 4 grouse without taking a step at one point with my breaking barrel 12 gauge over 222 Remington. So that was super exciting. I also picked a whole bunch of mushrooms, including chaga mushrooms and reishi mushrooms for my kids to sell at a festival we're going to this weekend, or next weekend I should say, as well as some other things that I'll show you right now. When Delphanie and I were picking mushrooms yesterday, I forgot that I had a whole pocket of these large seeded grasses, and I'm not sure what they are. I haven't looked them up yet, but they have about the biggest seed that I've seen on a grass, so I was really excited to pick those. They're probably full of starchy goodness. These are the stalks of dogbane, so we collect these when they're dry and then we'll use them to make cordage. This is my bucket of mushrooms. So in the bottom there are some big hedgehog mushrooms that I was really excited to find. There's a bunch of puffballs. There's all these yellowfoot chanterelles that makes up the most of this bucket, and some small hedgehog mushrooms. I picked some Labrador tea. I picked some fairy ring mushrooms. I picked some yarrow and clover flowers. There's more than one in here, somewhere in the bundle. And I picked a bunch of seed pods from the evening primrose, and I really need to go back to this one spot because I think I can fill this pail with seed heads, and that'll give me a really good quantity of these little seeds that are really nutritious. This is applesauce from the apples I picked the other day. So I made that in my Victorio mill. It's not a mill, it's a food strainer. And I'm just going to can those guys with a water bath. It's a great kind of a duck pond out there. Lots and lots of vegetation, lots of good shoreline habitat for them, so we'll see what we're getting into. There's Adam Craig Outdoors on YouTube, throwing out the decoys. So how many ducks do you think we just scared up coming in here? 30?
Probably 24 anyways, for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
More.
But they'll all come back, so we're just throwing out decoys. There's a few decoys out here, and then we're gonna go set up over by that rock and call those ducks back. Just had this green-winged teal come in, and oh, there's a duck landed right behind me. Adam's going around the edge, so he's probably going to scare a bunch of them up. So that's my first shot this season. First duck. So not skunked, which is a good start. And the ducks keep coming up and then landing on other parts of the pond, so I might do a little paddle around after, see if we can stir them up and get some flybys. Nice wood duck. I jumped in the canoe, so that worked out. As soon as I got stirring some ducks up out here, Adam was shooting twice, and I had that wood duck fly right into me, so I got that duck. The problem is that I forgot to grab more shells when I got in the canoe, so I've paddled away from all of my shells, and I only left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shells. It should still be enough, I think, but we'll see what happens. Well, it was a success, eh?
Not too shabby.
A couple ducks on the opening day.
Yeah. Lots of them around.
Yeah.
Just didn't want to cooperate, but you know, every time you go out you learn something, so I think we found a nicer setup over there.
Yeah, off on that little bay there.
Yeah, it's kind of a pinch point. The ducks like to go back and forth, so I think setting up there, putting out, I don't even think you need that many decoys. Half a dozen decoys.
Yeah. Just to catch their eye, right?
Yeah, even just to slow them down.
Yeah, and like I thought, like for sure that there were at least a dozen ducks on this pond, and I paddled the whole pond.
Well, there's some in there for sure, because that's where those last couple flew into.
Yeah.
And when you went by them, I got ready.
Yeah, out there.
And they weren't there. Kind of where those birch are dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
right
so
right in that area.
right there.
Left or right.
So they must be right up. And you said that you scared a wood duck up off the bank, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the wood ducks are in. I don't know if you have oak trees around the pond, but they might be in eating acorns or after
Startled
seeds.
me.
Or, yeah.
Well, I had the gun on my shoulder, my call in the hand, because I was going through the brush and it just took off.
That's funny. Cool. All right, time for the paddle out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a quick update. Just because I've been off camera for a little bit. So after duck hunting with Adam Craig from Adam Craig Outdoors, I did go to our acorn patch. Oh, we don't need to show that coffee cup. I did go to our acorn patch and pick over 20 pounds of acorns, I think. So I'll weigh those when I get home. I'll tell you the weight of them wet, and of course they'll be a lot drier when I get all the caps off them and dry them out. But that's a lot of acorns, and Delphanie and I have been out for a little exploration, and we found some things that we were not expecting, which are the aborted entoloma mushrooms. So it's an entoloma that's been parasitized. There are some puffballs, 2 different varieties of puffballs, 1 beer can, and a handful of red oak acorns, so they're not ready yet.
And this is really cool.
Yeah, some scaly-cap mushroom that we're going to identify. And then I grabbed some sumac leaves just because they're on the way to the truck and I can use them for tanning hides. So that's kind of a wrap up on the day. Like, the rest of my day won't be that exciting. I probably won't show it. I'm plucking ducks and then I'm watching Netflix while I take the caps off of acorns. So